When talking about criminals with strange mustaches, surely you will immediately think of one person. But that is not the main character of this video. In reality, there is another person in the world, a person with a unique mustache, a person many people consider a hero, but many people consider him a devil. Although he did not cause the bloodiest war, he was the person behind the most expensive human hunt in Indian history. If the US government took 10 years to capture terrorist bin Laden alive, the Indian government had to spend 20 years, 1 billion rupees and hundreds of lives to deal with this crime boss, the central character of the story today, known as Veerappan. Q's Munisami Veerappan was born in 1952 in a small village called Gopinatham on the border of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. There is a big difference between Veerappan and other half-hearted criminals. He is not a kind-hearted person who is pushed into the path of crime by society, nor is he a pitiful supervillain for another reason. Veerappan was born and raised in a world filled with crime, and he chose that as where he belonged. From a young age, Veerappan was introduced by his father to the path of crime. Hunting, illegal smuggling, robbery, and murder are what Veerappan is exposed to in daily life. His father is also a famous illegal animal hunter and also has connections with Salvai Gounder, another famous man in the area. While other children of the same age were taught to write, Veerappan was taught illegal hunting and smuggling under Salava's guidance. Veerappan clearly showed his natural talent. It did not take long for him to have his first hunting achievement, a 5-ton elephant. Many people also rumored that Veerappan's victory that day impressed Salvaya so much that he gave his gun to Veerappan, who was only 10 years old at that time. In the following years, Veerappan practiced and mastered the skill of smuggling ivory and sandalwood. The world where big fish eat small fish is the perfect playground for people like him to roam freely. From nothing, Veerappan has gained a solid foothold in the underworld. And to maintain his position, Veerappan will not tolerate anyone who dares to hinder his activities. Whether you are a police officer, ranger, or civilian, during his 4 decades of rule, Veerappan killed a total of 184 people, including police and civilians. If we divide the average to survive in that world, Veerappan killed people every 2 months, and he did it for 40 years. The first time Veerappan killed someone was when he was 17 years old. It was a forest ranger trying to stop his gang from illegally hunting elephants, without any grudge or hatred. But according to Veerappan's logic, letting that ranger live would be detrimental to his business, so he killed him. That determination is the factor that makes Veerappan one of the most dangerous criminals in Indian history. He is a cold-blooded man, but almost never kills for fun. He never acts excessively, and only acts when his own interests are potentially threatened. In Veerappan's dictionary, there are no 2 words if. All seeds of betrayal need to be eliminated. So once Veerappan made up his mind, no matter how cruel it was, he would do it. One time, he bluntly shot and killed a fellow countryman just because he was in the same car as the police. He also did not ignore anyone suspected of being a spy. Therefore, many innocent people died at his hands. Even for the police, Veerappan is ready to welcome them. At Govindapati village, in Metrotown, after Veerappan killed a person he suspected was a police insider. A team of 41 people, including many veteran criminals and forest officials, was dispatched to investigate, suppress and arrest Veerappan if necessary. However, a terrible tragedy happened. On April 9, 1993, 2 cars transporting the team suddenly exploded along the road. The explosion occurred at Para near Malay Mahadaswara Hill today, known as Chamarajanagar district, Karnataka. 22 members of the team lost their lives on the spot. Many other members were also seriously injured. This event later became known as the Pallor Blast. The most horrifying mass murder was committed by Veerappan. Realizing that Veerappan was a particularly dangerous element with the potential to endanger the nation, the state governments of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu established a task force to search for and capture Veerappan alive. However, they gradually realized this was an impossible task. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are lands with dense forests and rugged terrain, making the search extremely difficult. Not only that, this is also Veerappan's main operating area. He was born, raised, and lived in this forest for decades. The location of every clump of trees and grass he knew in the palm of his hand. Many people in the village also rumored that Veerappan was so familiar with the terrain that he could accurately determine the location of creatures living in the forest through the crunching of leaves. If it took the US government 10 years to capture terrorist bin Laden, it took the Indian government nearly 20 years to corner Veerappan. And that journey was not easy. To reduce the number of members in Veerappan's clan to 5 people, in addition to the sacrifice of hundreds of policemen, the government also had to spend a huge sum of 1 billion rupees, all in order to capture a single criminal. They even had to ask for the help of the villagers, offering a reward of 50 million rupees to anyone with information about Veerappan. In 1993, the government ordered the arrest of Miss Muthulakshmi, accusing her of covering up to lure Veerappan out. But it was in vain. Mrs. Muthulakshmi was released not long after due to insufficient evidence. Veerappan proved to the government that he was not only ruthless and decisive, but also a wise man. Veerappan knew that the possibility of the special task force finding this forest was almost zero, so he wanted to take advantage of this as much as possible to hold the reins in the negotiations. During this period, Veerappan kidnapped many important people as hostages to force the government to introduce policies beneficial to his state. The most famous are probably the 2 kidnapping cases of Karnataka minister, Meister Nagappa, and famous actor Rajkumar. Actor Rajkumar was fortunate to return to his family after the Karnataka government paid a huge ransom of 200 million rupees. However, Minister Nagappa is not so lucky. Special teams from Karnataka and Tamil Nadu coordinated with Kerala State Police to conduct a rescue operation, but were overtaken by Veerappan. The minister's body was found in the forest 3 days later. Even though he has to run away from the police, plan a kidnapping, and manage people in the state. But Veerappan's smuggling business never stopped because of that. Throughout his career, he hunted more than 2,000 elephants, killed dozens of forests, and earned more than 40 tons of ivory and 10,000 tons of agarwood. His total assets from smuggling are estimated to be up to $10 million, not to mention the money earned from kidnapping other famous people. And of course, having money is power. Veerappan's hand even reached the top leaders of the country. With his resources, it was not difficult for Veerappan to find a few political allies, including many people who were so powerful that they could arbitrarily command a special task force to be established just to arrest him. There is a rumor that during one of their pursuits, the special forces were lucky enough to corner him. The snipers even determined the exact location of the target and were prepared to pull the trigger. But at that moment, Veerappan pulled out his phone to call someone, and less than 10 seconds later, all members of the task force withdrew from the area. And that was just one of dozens of extremely unbelievable stories about Veerappan. But no matter how wise and careful a decisive person is, there will be times when he makes mistakes, and so did Veerappan. It seems that having absolute power in his hands made Veerappan let his guard down, and of course the task force took advantage of that. On October 18, 2004, Veerappan and 3 of his accomplices simultaneously died due to being ambushed by a special task force. The ambush took place near Paparpatadi village, Dharmapuri, Tamil Nadu. Veerappan and his accomplices were lured by an undercover police officer into an ambulance to be taken to Dharmapuri for medical treatment. The Tamil Nadu Special Forces had been observing his every move for several months, quickly surrounding the car, and a gunfight took place. Veerappan and 3 of his accomplices were killed. Hearing the news of Veerappan's death, Gopinatham villagers did not mourn, but instead lit firecrackers to celebrate, celebrating the death of a demon. Veerappan's body was returned to his family in Tamil Nadu state for burial. Thousands of people attended the funeral, partly out of curiosity, partly out of contempt, and partly out of respect. Veerappan is dead, but the stories about him are not. In fact, Netflix has released the world's first documentary series about the life and career of India's most dangerous criminal. The film will analyze each event from beginning to end based on the testimony of insiders and never before seen documents. For more details, please follow the hunt for Veerappan. The movie is being broadcast on Netflix. And that's all we know about Veerappan, the most notorious criminal in Indian history. A unique criminal who, at just 10 years old, carried a gun to hunt elephants. If you want to hear more stories like the above, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the notification bell to become the earliest viewer when we release a new video. Hello, and see you in the next videos.